And I told you
But
what
if
to
I
do.
have,
Stop
but if
talking.
I, oh, I'm
Stop
sorry. If
talking.
I just have
Stop
full
talking.
custody, that
No.
was my biggest thing. So
Okay.
I'm okay
When
with
I
that.
say stop talking, I want stop talking.
Whoa, starting off strong. The judge immediately tells someone to stop talking. You know it's about to get heated when the first words in court are basically hush. I'm in charge. Would you want this judge ruling on your case?
All right. First on my screen is the plaintiff, Ashanti Cunningham. Ms. Cunningham, good morning.
Good morning.
Next on my screen is the defendant, Martin Cuevas Villagomez. Mr. Cuevas Villagomez, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So this is your motion, Ms. Cunningham. I've read it. Is there anything you want to add to it before I turn things over to Mr. Cuevas Villagomez for his thoughts?
No, he showed up. Besides me trying to serve him, he ripped the papers up in my face. My main thing is just really just the custody and parenting time. He just feels like because he's been paying his child support these past few months that he doesn't have to do more than pay child support. He picks and chooses when to get when to get the child. That's just the biggest issue.
Okay.
Hold up, he ripped up the court papers in her face. That's bold, reckless, or both. Quick poll, do you think that helps him look like a responsible parent? Or is that game over?
Mr. Cuevas Villagomez, your thoughts, please?
I don't pick anything. I was under the impression that she wasn't allowed to serve me, so I will say that I didn't read it. I also was she said something about me picking and choosing when to get Malaya, or my daughter obviously, but I get Malaya every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't I really don't understand what this was even filed for. I took a trip a couple weeks ago, and that's really where it kind of picked up at. She got upset because I went out of town for a weekend, and it was my weekend, but I let her know Monday. Friday came around, we got into an argument about it.
Here's where it gets tricky. He thinks he's doing enough by having the child every weekend. But family court isn't just about clocking hours, it's about balance. Judges want a schedule that works for both parents, not just one.
And then, I had already paid the money and whatnot, so I went out of town for the weekend. She didn't say nothing. 2 weeks went by, and then we had a good we were getting along still. We co-parent good. We don't really argue much. When we do argue, it's because of something that we just can't agree on, obviously. Really, more than anything, it's about the parenting time schedule. I get every weekend. I pick up every weekend. We have a certain schedule that we even got set up already.
Yeah, I know.
It's just more it's in a benefit of like, it was based off of a work schedule that I used to have and one that she used to have. So she says that weekends are the only days she has off, which are the only days that I have off as well. I've asked to be included in her academic life.
Let me stop you there, Mr. Cuevas Villagomez.
Notice how the judge cuts him off. That's not rudeness, it's control. Judges redirect testimony to keep focus on the actual legal issue. And here, the issue isn't co-parenting vibes, it's custody rights.
You can be included in all that stuff, but the motion I got is a motion for a change of custody. And Ms. Cunningham already has full custody, legal and physical custody, unless, hang on, let me get it out first, okay? So you already have what you're asking for. So you don't need an order saying you have legal and physical custody because you already have it. Now, it's subject to the defendant's request that this court review what's called legal custody, but that isn't in front of me, and no, it hasn't been filed yet. And I just want to tell both of you things. First of all, courts can do a lot of things, but courts can't make people good parents. either they are good parents or they're not. And if there's a parenting time order that is not being followed, all right, for whatever reason.
That line is gold. Judges cannot manufacture good parenting. They can only enforce schedules and orders. This is the heart of family law. Courts set rules, but character? That's on the parents.
Then two things got to happen. Either one, the parties got to change it, and the parties themselves can change it, because if you both have, the only time you can have time with the kids is on weekends, you both can't have them, because if you're every weekend, then she gets aced out of it, and vice versa. And then, so the most logical thing to do is for you two to sit down and say, okay, it should be every other weekend. Then both of you can split that time. But these parenting time complaints, if someone is not complying with the parenting time order, either Ms. Cunningham is not allowing the parenting time, or Mr. Cuevas Villa Gomez is not picking her up when it's supposed to, then you have to file a complaint by statute. MCL 552.644 says you have to file complaints at the front of the court. They then will try and meet with you and figure something out. And if they think it's enough that I got to hold somebody in contempt and possibly put them in jail, they'll bring it to me. But those complaints don't start here, they end here. So they have them right online, Ms. Cunningham and Mr. Cuevas Villa Gomez. So you can fill those out online and make parenting time complaints. But at this point, your motion is for full custody. You already have it. So case is closed.
So it's just closed?
And just like that, the judge shuts it down. Case closed. Imagine gearing up for a custody battle only to hear you already have what you're asking for, brutal but efficient.
No, it's just the motion's denied because I can't give her what she wants because she already has it.
She already has it. Yeah, and I guess, do I just I guess so under the impression that do I just got to file a motion for a different parenting time, because I guess that's the issue at this point.
Yeah, that was what you would
it's
have.
Like okay.
This motion's for custody.
Okay, so
I didn't file the motion, but I understand.
Okay.
Okay, I filed the motion because I was told that we had joint custody. So, and
Who told you that? Who told you that?
At the friend of the court, I was told.
How much did you pay for that advice?
I paid $100. I paid for the motion. I paid $100.
No, for the advice.
For the advice, none.
Right, and that should be your benchmark from here to forward.
Oof. The judge just roasted him. How much did you pay for that advice? Translation: free legal advice is worth exactly what you paid for it. Audience question: would you gamble custody rights on Google searches and hearsay?
If you're going to rely on advice, it better be advice you pay for, and that's from an attorney, okay? Because you don't have joint legal custody. You have
full custody.
Full 100% custody until the defendant brings a motion to me asking that I consider legal custody and physical custody. So, but the Legal Assistance Center might be able to help you out. They're pretty good about these things. But
I was gonna say, if that's on the flip forward, then that's where I win. But I'll file the right motion. I just feel like overall, there's nothing going to work. It's been 4 years. We started off with you, sir. Martin originally took me to court for parenting time and has not abided by his parenting time all these years.
And I told you what to do. Stop talking.
I'm sorry. If I just have full custody, that was my biggest thing. So I'm okay with that.
When I say stop talking, I want stop talking. Now, as I told you.
And there it is, the roadmap. Parenting time disputes don't begin in front of the judge. They start with complaints at the front of the court. Think of this as level 1 before you even get to the boss battle.
If he is not complying with your parenting time order, you need to file a complaint for parenting time at the front of the court. Those start there. They end here, but they start there. So that's what, if you have problems with parenting time, that's where you got to go. And I'll look forward to whatever you guys file in the future. Okay?
Thanks, Brennan.
Okay.
Thank you.